We are here with newly crowned state champion head coach Blake Bone of the Etowah Blue Devils. And Blake, what a tremendous ride this season's been for you, these Blue Devils, and the city of Etowah. You made a lot of people proud. We've got a lot to talk about like that, but I want to rewind the clock, so to speak, before we dive into this season and how amazing it's been. It's been an amazing run for you here at Etowah in general. You've restored I'm not going to say a once proud, because people here from Etowah, I grew up in Etowah, has always been proud, but you've restored something, true to the people's heart here in Etowah, and that's the baseball name around the state, statewide. It's always been known as a baseball school and a football school. Blake, but let's rewind the clock and let's start this interview when you first took this job at Etowah, and we touched on this, your post-game interview, if you guys have not seen it, from the state championship game. What led you here, and once you got here, what's all transpired to lead up to getting this bad boy right here on my life?
Well, I mean, being at Southside for 11 years and always being a part of this rivalry we had with those guys, and what Larry Foster did for this place, and bringing it to what it was, and laying the foundation for Etowah baseball to be that powerhouse. I've always respected everything that he's done, and I respect the players that's come through here. And sometimes you need a change, a scenery. You need a change of just a fresh start somewhere. And an opportunity presented itself. I was thrilled, first of all, and when they came to me about this opening, and after talking to my family, it was a great opportunity for me. It was a great opportunity to come to a place I feel like that. Like you said earlier, loves baseball first and foremost. The community support is unbelievable. The way they think about athletics at this school and this city is, unlike most places. And I think that's what really interested me in making the change. And I'm very grateful for all those people that made this happen. And I think when you're coaching as long as I have, you kind of go through the changes of how teenagers are and what the generations bring differently than others. And the thing about here I thought was interesting was just the work ethic these kids bring to the table. I think it was a community thing that you've heard for a long time. It's that we talk about a lot, the blue collar mentality these kids have, and the desire to be coached, the desire to trust the process and bring it every single day to reach a common goal. And I felt like that's something we could do here, and that's not in a lot of places these days. And to have that pride in the blue and have that pride in representing the school, I made it a easy decision to come here and be able to be a part of this. And I was given a lot of things that allowed us to get to this point, whether it's from an administrative standpoint. We have great administrators, whether it's from a city standpoint, with our mayor and our city council. They make my job easy, and our superintendent is really loves athletics and does what all he can do to help us as well. So from that standpoint, I couldn't be happier in this place than anywhere else. And from a kids, we came here with a vision 2 years ago, and that was to play the state championship, win the state championship. I think the first thing I put on the board was the '96 dog pile, and that's something that we showed regularly, whether it was through a text or in a meeting or whatnot. And that was our goal since day one. And these guys have bought in to what I feel like it takes to have that success, and never complain about it. Man, these guys have gone to work and trusted me and trusted our staff that we're going to put them in situations to help them be successful. And there's just nothing but love for a lot of these guys, most of these guys, all these guys on our team, because what we ask them to do is not easy. Not everybody can do what we ask of them to do. Whether it's a 6 a.m. workout, or the long practices that some of our coaches make fun of because the schedule may say something and ended up being 2 hours later. Finally, it's quit putting times on the schedule. Let's just say we're practicing and here's your schedule with no times on it. But these guys, they just work so hard. Even starting back with our 2 seniors last year, it's big in whatever situation you come into that your seniors buy in, your seniors believe in you, and they believe in your staff. And those 2 guys were so significant. Caleb and I just went blank. Caleb and Kale. Those guys, they kind of started this thing. We knew we had a heavy junior group behind them, but when you had your seniors on board and senior leadership, they started this, and we owe them so much for being a part of what we are now. And and then I think the fire from getting there last year and losing the way we did and getting that opportunity to see what it was all about just allowed these guys to keep that in the back of their mind the whole time as we worked and as we had to go through the things we go through and the adversity you have to deal with. Like it was no question in their minds that we were going to come back and be able to win a state championship.
You mentioned last year, and I remember watching the game from a media perspective. To me, I just seen it in the guys' eyes. I felt it. You could feel it if you were there. As these playoffs began, it was a different focus. It was more of a I don't want to say animalistic. I mean, it was like this is like burn the boats mentality. These guys were not accepting anything other than this right here. And you could see it, you could feel it, and most importantly, I don't think no was an option for these guys. They were going to either win this or it felt like they were going to die on that hill trying.
Absolutely. I think James alluded to it in his post-game conference how, not winning was not an option. And with that, a lot of teams wants to win. Everybody wants to win. We talk about that a lot, but winning comes Monday through Thursday. And in your preparation, it comes in the off season. It comes when nobody's looking. And, that's what a lot of people don't see is the amount of work these guys put in after we're done practice. Guys come up here at 10:30, hitting the cage or, whatever the case may be, they were doing it. And I think that was because of, they wanted to leave no doubt this year. And when you put in the work, even though you're not guaranteed anything, but these guys, felt like there was absolutely no other way to go about their business.
Let me ask you this question. Once they tasted that first game victory, what was your message in the clubhouse afterwards? Because you don't want the guys to think they arrived, but you also want them to celebrate that win, but obviously it's not the end goal. What was your message to the team that day?
I think it's not over. We kind of went through that all playoff. I think obviously we're undefeated 10-0 in the playoffs, and you win that game 1, you could very easily be satisfied and
that's right.
Not have that same hunger. But I think one of our common things we talked about a lot was play desperate, man. That was one of our mindsets throughout the playoffs. Let's just play desperate, and when you do that, you put it all on the line every single time, then a lot of times you're able to close things out.
It was beautiful watching, and when you guys got actually down in game 2, that was another thing. I was like, here comes the adversity. How did you handle that? I watched one of the most incredible double plays I've ever seen to get you guys out of a jam and an inning right there, and I was just like, okay, these guys are for real. Talk about burning the boats and all this. They're not talking about, they're being about it. Talk about that when you guys got down 1-0 in that second game.
Yeah, I think just the mindset that we've carried for the last 2 years is, just we're going to deal with adversity. We know that. We talk about that a lot. You're gonna have adversity probably come in every game that you play in. And it's how you respond to those times, and it's how you prepare yourself going into it, and it's really about your perspective on dealing with it. And we told a story in one of our meetings that there's only one animal in the whole animal kingdom that that runs into the storm, and that's the bison or buffalo. You know, every other animal runs away from the storm, and you know, I think that was one of our daily talks today. You know, when adversity strikes, let's run to it. Let's don't run away from it. We know we're gonna have to overcome it, and what's on the other side is gonna be, you know, better where we are right now. So you know, that was just an adopted mindset I think that these guys had for a long time now.
UMS Wright's coach said something post game that I think is a testament to your coaching and your staff's coaching, that I think you couldn't get a bigger compliment from another coach in any sport. He said those kids fight hard and they're tough and they don't quit. No matter what we threw at them, no matter what we hit them with, they didn't flinch. He said they do not quit and they're tough kids. Always being tough has been the mantra of the talent. I mean, it just is what it is. But when you put that together with execution and the willingness not to take things for granted like you have and execute the way you guys do, I think that's why we're looking at this blue map here. But when you hear other coaches talk about your program like that, what does that mean for you and your coaches?
Well, absolutely. Their coaching staff too. We talked to them quite a bit, and just class acts. I mean, those guys have been in the game for a long time, 30-something years, I believe. He's been a head coach, you know, and it was just a mutual respect for each other to play the game the right way, to do things the right way. It was a fun matchup, and actually I talked to him on the phone yesterday and kind of reiterated the same things we talked about on the field after the game. Just two good teams, really focused and played the game the right way. And you know, so to hear that from another coach, it does mean a lot. You know, you want your guys to have that aura about them when they step on the field, and for other people to see that, especially people that have won state championships and been in this game for a long time, it's special.
Now I'm going to ask you a two-part question here. I know we're talking your head off here, but just I know everybody's wanting to hear all of it. First part question is, I know you got this thing running at a level where if Blake Bone does not show up for practice, you guys are not going to be submitted because of the staff. Talk about the staff a little bit. That's the first part of this question.
I can't be more appreciative of the guys that we have in place. It's just a lot of times coaching is just a different. We have a really good mesh of personalities. We have some coaches that probably get on their butts a lot, and then we have coaches they can go talk to, and you know, we'll start.
Cane and the sugar.
I mean, you start Coach. Coach Worthy has been at this place for a long time now. You know, he's always that calming factor in the dugout, on the field, that these guys can look to when maybe I'm chewing them out or Coach Clay's chewing, whatever. You know, Coach Worthy is just that guy who is the same person day in, day out, and you know, you throw on top of the knowledge that he has about this game. You know, he's played it at the highest level. He's been doing it at this level for a long time, and to have him part of the staff, and for him to finally get his opportunity to get a ring, man, it just means so much to me and so much to this community, and because he's so well respected among everybody in this baseball world and a talent statewide. So we're thankful for Coach Worthy. We're thankful for all our staff. You know, Coach Clayton does our pitching, and he does a tremendous job getting those guys prepared, getting those guys ready in the off season, getting those guys ready for the games, and you know, so he's done a great job. Not all of our pitches, but he handles a lot of on-the-field stuff. He's been with me now for, I think we looked at the other day, he played for me in high school, and then I think now we've been coaching for 8 or 9 years, 7, 8, somewhere around there. So he knows the practice schedule. He knows, you know, even when I might have to take a call, or you know, this time of your playoffs, you're trying to deal with other things as a head coach, and you know, I can leave them out there and not have a worry in the world about what's going on. They're going to be doing what they're supposed to be doing and getting better every single day. And Zane Ledbetter, another coach on the staff, and is a talent guy who's played here. He's been through the tough times. He's been through the good times. And, you know, he does a tremendous job with our catchers, getting those guys prepared. And I think Briggs in the playoffs only had one pass ball, and it was the play at the plate in 10 games. And you know, that's incredible. But it goes to what they're doing in practice, you know, and the focus they have and their drill work and the things that they're doing every single day to prepare themselves, and Coach Ledbetter does a phenomenal job with that. And John Hill, another guy we have on staff, John he's the players coach, man. All the guys love him. They love being around him. They love what he brings to the table. He helps with our pitching. He does a lot of things that go under the radar, probably so to speak. And he's kind of in the background a lot of times, but John just brings so much to our staff from a character perspective, from a coaching perspective. Just a lot of knowledge. He's pitched in college, and our guys have developed a slider. A lot of our pitchers, and it was John Slider. Same what he throws, and there's he just brings so much value to our players and to the staff. He's done a great job too. And then Vance has been with us. He's been here. Another Etowah guy who's been here a long time, been through the ringer, and these guys really enjoy having him around.
Coach Foster guy.
Yeah, been around. I think every Coach Foster. He was here. After that, he's been a part of this program for a long time. Played here. He's that constant fire that these guys need in practice. So, we're very, very fortunate for the people that we have around us, and I know as a coach, you got to surround yourself with the right people, and we have them here from top to bottom.
Now let's pretend you and your staff's not here. I think you guys had enough leadership on this team. You could still run a legit practice without a coaching staff because of what kind of character and leaders you had. Not just the seniors and some of your underclassmen guys, although you had, was it 13 seniors, correct? 12. Talk about this leadership on this team, whether it be seniors or underclassmen.
Well, when you make a run like this, you have that leadership in the locker room, and they just really hold each other accountable. And it's not one guy you can look at. It's not two guys. It's 25 guys that sit in this locker room that have the same goal, the same mindset, and they just they hold each other accountable. They're family, on the field, off the field, and I think that definitely has been one of the key parts of us being able to do what we did this year.
It was incredible to watch the coaching on the field amongst the guys. It was simply incredible to watch. Now,
I hope you didn't read Briggs' lips when he goes to the mountain and talks to his brother.
I got to hear some of that. It's good stuff. I was waiting for them to go at it sometimes because it got pretty heated, but it's a beautiful thing to watch. But hey, those are two guys you want with you if it's going down. I'm telling you, both of them guys, I would go to war with you in a heartbeat. All right, Coach, now this is the next part of this interview I want to ask you. Now you've arrived on this mountain. What's going to be the message and mindset? Because Ric Flair says it best, once you're on top of the mountain, everybody wants you to be the man, you got to beat the man. So now y'all have become the hunted instead of the hunters.
Yeah, I think that's something you want, right? It means you've done something right. If everybody's, coming after you and wants to take you down, I think it means you've done something right, and we embrace that. And I think again it goes back to leadership of each of these guys, and the guys who were here last year to the guys who are graduating this year. Everybody understands expectations. They understand the culture and what we expect every single day, and just hopefully you just build off that every single year and continue to make these runs. And I know the guys want to get back. I know the guys want to be playing for it again next year. So I think the people that's been through it and the leadership that's we've had, everybody just kind of falls into place.
It's going to be fun to watch the transition now with so many seniors leaving, but man, you got some guys coming up that's really excited to watch. Coach, before we shut this video down, what would be your final thoughts you'd like to say to just anybody out there watching from administration to fans to the city of Etowah, just final thoughts on this overall season experience with these two trophies we see in front of us here?
Well, first I just want to say thank you for the community and the thousands of fans that support us throughout the playoffs. And when you roll up to Chocolaca, you roll up to Jacksonville, and you just see
it's a sea of blue.
I mean, if you wasn't there, you really don't understand. Both years, the amount of people that came out, and not just from the Etowah community, from all over Etowah County and from all over. You know, you just see people that support you, and you see people that, whether kids go here or they don't go here, you know, that are out there watching us play. And that just means so much. And the guys obviously appreciate the support. And I mean, I know in game one they had to turn the crowd noise off on the NFHS network because they were too loud. I mean, I watched it yesterday. You know, so I mean, from a support standpoint, man, it's just been unreal. And you know, from like I said earlier, from top to bottom, we're able to do the things we do because of the people in place. And we could be happy for the people we have around us and the people we have supporting us every single day that we come to work.
Coach, it's a tremendous honor to watch you these 2 years earn this and earn this. And I think these two went hand in hand. I think you needed to go through this to get this one personally. I know this one, you'd like this one to be blue too, but I think it changed the mindset for these guys to earn this one. We're going to shut this video down, Coach. Appreciate you spending time with us, and good luck to you guys in the off season. We're looking forward to seeing you guys grow, and it's going to be a different Blue Devil squad and different mindset heading into this off season. But I know with your staff support and yourself, you guys can definitely make a run at this thing again.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.